Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits, try to keep the concepts very simple for you. In the recent times I have made a video on Saturn's transit in the sign of Pisces and how it is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant or the moon signs for the next 2.5 years. You can watch this video on my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Sun's upcoming transit in the sign of Pisces. Sun is moving out of the sign of Aquarius where it has been conjoined at the same degree with Saturn, the lord of Aquarius, and now on 14th of March it is going to enter Pisces, which is the start of Meena Sankranti, and this is going to last till 14th of April. Sun's transit is usually very consistent because Sun itself is the most consistent graha. It rises at the set time, it sets at its own time, which is already scheduled and it is pre-decided. There are 12 forms of Sun or Adityas, and the Aditya that is mapped with the sign of Pisces is called Vishnu Aditya. Sign of Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Both Sun and Jupiter, they share a friendly relationship. Both are Sattva grahas or Sattvic planets. They are very auspicious. Their connection with each other leads to a royal lineage or a royal yoga in the chart if in any way Sun and Jupiter are connected in the chart. They share a perfect harmony. If you look at transit of Jupiter, which takes 12 months from making a move from one sign to the other, while Sun takes 1 month and it takes 12 months to get back to its own sign. So they are in perfect harmony with each other. It is said when Sun is making a transit in the sign of Pisces and also in the sign of Sagittarius, we do not do auspicious events or activities such as marriage ceremonies, home rituals, housewarming, certain key materialistic events, certain key events where there are a lot of Rajas energies involved are to be avoided during this time. Now, why is this the case? Sun, when it is making a transit in the sign of Pisces, it is the last month of the solar year, the Hindu year, the Vedic year. Yes, the new year for Vedic astrology will begin in mid of April when Sun enters the sign of Aries, which will be Mesha Sankranti. These periods when Sun enters Sagittarius and Pisces are also known as karmas, which means these are low solar periods. The energy levels are quite low. When Sun makes a transit in these signs, it also suffers with Sankraman dosha, which is at a higher side. The Sankraman dosha indicates transition impurity when it is making a transit in the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces. Therefore, these periods are unfavorable for worldly events. Certain key events in life should be avoided. In case it is a necessity for you, you still need to move house, you still need to do a Havan Yagya, please go ahead and do that. For performing rituals, Vedic rituals, when it comes to prayers, if you do something on your own, the celestial energies are pretty high because it is said that deities and devatas are in a meditative state. So if you do any prayers, sadhana, yoga around this time, it is excellent because Sun is making a transit in the natural sign of Pisces, which represents devotion, that represents moksha, that represents your ability to give and help others. So if you want to be in a meditative state, it is an excellent time because spiritual energies are going to be on a higher side, and Sun is a significator of resources, initiation. So any prayers you initiate, resources are favorable for you. Now, new beginnings are marked when Sun enters Capricorn, which is Makar Sankranti, and when Sun enters Aries, which is Mesha Sankranti. That also gives us a significance that auspicious events, life events, which are very much worldly, materialistic in nature, are to be avoided when Sun is making a transit in the sign of Sagittarius and in the sign of Pisces. Let me also share with you that during this transit, Sun will be conjoined a number of grahas. Sun will come in contact with Venus, Mercury, Rahu. So we will see a 4 planetary conjunction for the majority of time when Sun is making a transit in the sign of Pisces. Towards the end of the month, Saturn will be joining this great conjunction. Moon will also be joining the great conjunction, and we'll see a mix of multiple grahas in the sign of Pisces. So wherever this falls in your chart, there will be certain events that are going to get triggered with matters related to this particular house over the next couple of months, which depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha. In case you're going through dasha antardasha pratantardasha of Sun, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Rahu, Moon, or if you have prominent planets in the sign of Virgo and in the sign of Pisces, or even if you're going through Dasha Antardasha of Jupiter, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. Sun is the natural 5th house lord, making a transit in the natural 12th house. The natural 5th lord of mantras, making a transit in the 12th house of devotion. So any mantras that you chant around this time are going to purify you from a spiritual point of view. This is more of an energy cleansing time period, so we must make the most of it over the next 1 month. Sun is going to be aspecting the sign of Virgo by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun's aspect is very fiery in nature, therefore I always say that never sit across the table with the Leo ascendant. You are likely to get blinded. There's only one head of the table and you must sit on the side. So whichever house Sun aspects, it blinds that house. At the same time, it is giving a lot of energy, firepower to that house. So you have to make sure that wherever the sign of Virgo falls in your chart, your desires are linked to resources, consistency, and a sense of truthfulness, because Sun demands loyalty. Sun demands righteousness. He is the king. So king demands loyalty. Make use of mantras. Make the best of your devotional time over the next 1 month. Now I'm going to talk about how Sun's transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. And I'm going to give you some tips on how some of these conjunctions will play a role for you. Let us begin with Aries ascendant. For Aries ascendant, Sun is your 5th lord. It's one of the most important planet. It is a Yoga Karaka Graha because it rules the house of future for you. Progress, positional success is seen from the 5th house. 5th house also represents mantra, your children, unconditional love. We see creative and speculative interest from the 5th house. 5th house also denotes corruption because with power comes corruption, and this is one of the Rajya Bhavas. This Sun is making a transit in the 12th house in the sign of Pisces, and during this transit it will be aspecting the sign of Virgo by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun wants to overcome opposition for you, give you enough resources so that you can counter any enemies, any opposition. So if you're sitting for competitive examination, this could be a particularly favorable time for you. Your father or any father figure could go out of the way to help you. You could also get some favors from the government around this time. So you must remember that Sun in the 12th house attains Maran Karaka position, or it is a death-like position. So somewhere it is losing its significance. So you might have certain uncertainty about the future. You might not be sure of the direction that you're heading, but make use of this time for spiritual progress, for spiritual sadhana. Any mantras that you use, you're going to be blessed. You could use a Vishnu Aditya mantra, that is Om Grini Vishnu Aditya. This is something which you could chant while offering water to the sun, or depending on the natal placement of the Sun, we could further assess the results. Sun is going to come in contact with a number of planets. It is conjoined with your 2nd lord Venus, with your 6th lord Mercury, and also with Rahu. So stay away from any corrupt activities. You have to be absolutely ethical and highly principled around this time, because you could deviate from your path. There is no scope of greed. There are no shortcuts in life. Avoid any kind of indulgence, because otherwise you could have some health repercussions. Make sure that you go for a regular health checkup, a routine health checkup, because your 6-12 axis is pretty active over the next few weeks, and this is something which you must ensure. You could definitely chant mantras related to Surya. It could be a simple Surya mantra, or you could read or chant Aditya Hridayam on a daily basis. This way you will be able to counter any opposition or any enmity in your life. Towards the end of the day, look up to someone who is elder. People with authority would eventually support you depending on your decision making capability, and if you use your knowledge and the wisdom around the same time. This is a clear message for you, and I hope this transit is fruitful for you. Now let us talk about Taurus ascendants and what's happening with Taurus ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. For you, Sun is the 4th lord. It is more of a neutral graha. It rules the house of safety, security, your mother, your home or the homeland, where you feel most happy, most comfortable and most protected. This house also represents your assets and things that you own, such as your house, your vehicle or vehicles. This Sun is now making a transit in your 11th house of gains, your wider social network, your ability to influence. We also see the fulfillment of life from the 11th house, because this itself is the house of fulfillment. Sun, while making a transit in the 11th house, being a natural malefic, more of a Krura Graha. That is why it is called a natural malefic. It is not a Papa Graha. Sun, while making a transit in the 11th house, mostly delivers good results because it's a natural malefic Graha, considering it's a Krura Graha. And it is conjoined many other planets during this time. It is conjoined your Lagna Lord Venus, your 5th Lord Mercury, and also Rahu. So it is causing a lot of expansion with regards to matters related to your 11th house and related to your 5th house, because your 5-11 axis is pretty active. Sun is going to be aspecting your 5th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So it wants to give you certain resources as far as your future pursuits are concerned. So you must sit down and pen down some of the goals that you have with regards to yourself, because yourself, your Lagna Lord, is involved in this transit. It could be with regards to your future, because your 5th Lord Mercury is also involved, which is a Karaka Graha for you, with regards to your communication and the kind of decisions that you would be taking in your future. This era, this time marks new beginnings. Sun is in a powerful position. Venus, which is your Lagna Lord, holds most dominance as far as this transit is concerned. So I would expect your decision making to be better. You could probably have a rise in your income, because we see income from the 11th house as well. So from a wealth point of view, it is a favorable transit, because 4th Lord coming into the 11th house, it is definitely activating and giving you a couple of Dhan yogas. And whichever yogas are there in the chart, Sun is the ultimate deciding factor whether this yoga will fructify for you or not. You must leverage mantras. Use Lakshmi mantra for the next 1 month, which is simple Lakshmi mantra, that is Om Lakshmai Nama. And this way you will be able to channelize all these energies, because what you're trying to focus on is Venus, and mantras could definitely work for you. You must connect with your children, so there is also some karma pertaining to children. Your renewed focus on your relationship could also be on the cards, and have a very futuristic approach, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini Ascendant. What's happening with Gemini Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces, and this is happening in your 10th house, and you will see multiple planets having a conjunction in your 10th house. Sun or Surya in 10th house gains directional strength. It is Digbali. Therefore, there are blessings of Devata, there are blessings of Lord Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And of course, for the next 1 month, make the most of these blessings, because Sun is in an authoritative, powerful position. It is conjoined your 5th Lord Venus, your Lagna Lord Mercury as well, and also your 9th Lord Rahu. So all the trinal lords are involved in this conjunction with Sun. So you might need to take some breakthrough decisions related to your work, related to your job, related to your career. This could also trigger new opportunities or any change related to your workplace, because Sun is your 3rd Lord that represents change, efforts, valor, courage. So it could build certain courage for you when it comes to workplace setting, challenging the status quo or becoming more authoritative, and at the same time more assertive. And if you're authoritative, make sure that you keep your ego aside, because these are the kind of energies that you will have to deal with. Practice humility. Build credible relationships. This is the key message of Mercury and Venus that are also making a transit in your 10th house. This transit is making you a karma yogi. So do your duties, fulfill your work. There could be certain conflict also that you could have with people at workplace. So be a little bit careful and focus on doing the right things, taking the right decisions at the right time when it comes to workplace. If you learn a skill or two, that is always going to help you along the way. Sun is aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires a lot of decluttering when it comes to your home and also your workplace. Make the most of this opportunity to clean any open space in your house. It could be balcony, it could be your terrace. Do it yourself. This is a very simple remedy to help you channelize the energies of the sun. Sun also demands you to focus a lot on your mindfulness, a sense of balance between your personal and your professional life, because you will juggle with a number of things, number of projects, and you will deal with a number of people with different behaviors, different personality over the next few weeks. So don't get yourself stuck. Move out of the situation, get unstuck, and take charge of your decisions that are pertaining to work, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Cancer Ascendant and what's happening with Cancer Ascendants as Sun makes a transit in the sign of Pisces, and this is happening in your 9th house. Sun is also supposed to be one of the significator or karakas of the 9th house, because 9th house represents your father, lineage, guru, your dharma, and Sun is the significator of dharma. He is the king, he is the initiator. Anything new when it starts in life, Sun is the ultimate deciding factor. We must look up to Surya. This house also represents bhagya, fortune, long journeys, and also your guru. Your higher learning, higher education is also seen from the 9th house. Sun is your second lord of wealth, your accumulation, family, because this is the Kutumba Bhava, your speech, what you consume, what you eat, and of course, your storage space. Now, in this transit, this is a Dhan Yoga. It's a Lakshmi Yoga because your second lord is making a transit in the 9th house. So, in case you're expecting an increment, any rise in your income, or an ability to start a secondary source of income, this could be a particularly favorable time for you. You have to be very much focused towards your dharma, towards your religion particularly, because there are mixed energies in your 9th house. Sun is conjoined Venus, who is your 4th lord, also your 12th lord Mercury and Rahu. So this could deviate you from the path of righteousness, from the path of your dharma. And please remember, there is nothing bigger or important than dharma in life. So make sure that you stick to the path of righteousness. You get some Guru Upadesha because your 3-9 axis is pretty active. Someone who holds an authoritative position, someone who is senior, or maybe someone who you have worked with in the past. Because Sun is aspecting your 3rd house by the 7th aspect of desire. So any message that you get, any blessings that you get from your mentor, guru, your idol, someone who you look up to, someone who holds an authority, this way it will be helpful for you to channelize your decisions and make the right kind of decisions which are pertaining to your health, which are pertaining to your wealth, to your family, and of course your dietary requirements. This is also a time when you might go through some change in your dietary requirements. Otherwise, you could develop digestive issues. So you must take care of that as well. Write, journal about your leadership potential, your self-discovery skills, and of course, how you can become more aware of your key strengths and how you can build on your strengths. Write about them, make a note of things. This is again a remedy for you because 3rd house, which is being aspected, represents your hands, your arms, and what better could you do, right? So focus on the path of righteousness, stick to this path, be the promoter or the ambassador of your dharma. The message is very clear. If you do, Bhagya will support you. Otherwise, there will be obstructions, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo Ascendant and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as Sun moves in the sign of Pisces. Sun for you is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. It rules yourself, your overall body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your capacity in terms of making decisions, your intelligence, health, immunity. Everything is seen from the Lagna itself, from the 1st house. Therefore, Sun holds a great importance for Leo Ascendants. This Sun is making a transit in the 8th house now in the sign of Pisces for the next 1 month. It will come in contact with your 10th Lord Venus, your 11th Lord Mercury, and also Rahu, who is the co-lord of your 7th house. So matters pertaining to your relationship, your work, gains, and also friends. These will be the focus of the hour because 8th house represents change, transformation, and these changes could be quite sudden in nature. So your personality will evolve. Be prepared for any sudden decisions that you might have to take. So you will have to be very quick, very fast in your decision making. This is something which you have to be mindful of. See, this Sun is giving you transformation, but at the same time, there would be a situation where you would feel that resources are crunched. There's a shortfall of resources. when it comes to improving your personality, when it comes to decisions related to workplace or the kind of job that you have, and while you deal with other people, those people who are opposite to you at the workplace. So you will definitely have to put in a lot more efforts. See, Sun doesn't have any dosha of the 8th house, and it is conjoined an exalted Venus, which is retrograde, and a debilitated Mercury, which will also soon go retrograde. So all of these planets are aspecting your 2nd house. So there is a greater focus on protecting your savings, your income. So make sure that you curtail your expenditure, make sure that you save your finances. Certain decisions pertaining to financial management could be quite inevitable. This transit eventually is giving you deep transformation at the personal level more than anything else. And if you personally transform, you would certainly have work related changes. You will certainly change the way of you dealing with others, particularly your friends, because you will be resolving some conflicts. So handle these, of course, discussions and these interactions carefully and consciously. Think before you speak, because there will be mixed energies in your 2nd house, including fiery energies, compassionate energies as well. But you have to think and weigh all the consequences before you speak out. Use mantras related to either Venus or Mercury. Either a Vishnu mantra, a simple mantra for you could be Om Vishnave Nama. This is something which you could use, or use a Panchakshari mantra, Namah Shivaya. Look up to him and you will be protected. Let us now talk about Virgo ascendant and what's happening with Virgo ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. And this is happening in your 7th house. 7th house is called the Jaya Bhava because it represents peace and also war. It represents your spouse, your marriage, your partnership, any agreements that you do, those people who are opposite to you, your attitude, and how you orient yourself towards outer world of people, things and events. And of course, it determines your attitude towards the end of the day. Sun is not considered very strong in the 7th house because it's a western direction. Sun likes to rise in the east. It is also the Karaka for the 1st house. Therefore, it is in a little bit of a weak disposition. Considering it is your 12th lord making a transit in the 7th house, it is definitely bringing in some karmic repercussions when it comes to relationship management, when it comes to dealing with those people who are opposite to you. Because here your Lagna Lord Mercury is involved, your 9th Lord Venus is involved, and also Rahu is involved. So this time period is definitely testing your loyalty when it comes to relationship and how consistent you can be. On the other hand, if you're going through a favorable dasha, your partner or spouse can really go out of the way to help you, to take your stand, and you can have their back. This is the kind of confidence which you will be able to build. Sun is aspecting your 1st house or your Lagna by the 7th aspect of desire. So whichever house Sun aspects, it also blinds that house, but it is giving a lot of firepower. So your decision making is at test because you are likely to be confused with a number of things. So you have to bring in a lot of clarity. So make sure that you pen down all the options, you think about everything, and you choose the decision which is in the best interest of yourself and of your Bhagya. Look up to your Lagna Lord Mercury and your 9th Lord Venus, because Venus is in a favorable transit. It is exalted. Meantime, it is retrograde, so it is in a little bit of a weaker disposition. But this Venus is also the significator of the 7th house. So look up to Venus. Chant a Lakshmi mantra or worship Goddess Lakshmi on a daily basis. Read Shri Suktam. This way you will be able to channelize the energies and be prepared to seek relationship advice if you were to, because this way it will help you foster a relationship, become a good listener, and also mend certain ties or conflict situation if that arises. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendant and what's happening with Libra ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. For you, Sun is the 11th lord. It's not the most favorable planet because it rules the 11th house, which is the Badakesh or lord of obstacles as well for Libra ascendants. Besides being the 11th lord of gains, your material comfort, your wider social network, your friends, we also see bigger, greater enemies from the 11th house. Thankfully, the Sun is now making a transit in the 6th house, which means that if your Badakesh, lord of obstacles, is making a transit in the Dusthana houses, this will reduce the kind of obstacles. What it might increase or attract is certain enmity or opposition from people who hold an authoritative position momentarily for the first half of this transit. Second half, you're going to regain this strength, you're going to come out pretty strongly. Sun in the 6th house is considered good. It's a natural malefic and a functional malefic as well in your case. It is making a transit as one of the Upachaya bhavas, which represents growth. So from a growth point of view, eventually it is bringing you growth, because during this transit it is conjoined your Lagna Lord Venus and your 9th Lord Mercury and also Rahu. In spite of being encountered with strong opposition, this is an excellent time for you to build your capabilities, to build your intelligence, to learn something new, something which is very different, something which is very unique. At a spiritual side, it is also quite good, because this Sun is going to be aspecting your 12th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Sun desires liberation, Sun desires spiritual practices, yoga, sadhana. See, your 6-12 axis is pretty active. If you were to invest in daily routine, daily affairs, make sure that you stay consistent with regards to things that you do on a day-to-day basis. If you were to have a good flow of income, good wealth, make sure that you're consistent in your daily routine. During this time, it is an opportunity for you to have and fix a morning routine, a morning ritual. The first 45 minutes to an hour, how you can spend time with yourself, meditate, do anything but stay away from gadgets and electronics, and focus on building your capabilities. And also this will help you to realize your potential. And please remember that you have unlimited potential, and this will help you encounter any opposition that you come across with. Use mantras related to Goddess Lakshmi or read Shri Suktam on a daily basis. You can also listen to or read Aditya Hridayam, which will help you overcome any enemies, because this is what Lord Ram did when he was about to go in the battlefield against Ravan. I hope this transit works for you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio Ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. For you, Sun is the 10th Lord. It holds an important lordship because it rules your karma bhava, your actions in this world, in this society, your work, profession, the kind of job that you do, the nature of your business, the nature of your work. What are the actions or activities that you do to sustain yourself and your loved ones in this world? Therefore, Sun holds an important lordship. Now this transit is happening in your 5th house. It is a natural yoga in transit. See, there are two houses that represents kingdom or Rajya, the 10th house and the 5th house. 5th house, Sun is also the natural ruler of the 5th sign of the zodiac belt, which is Leo. Therefore, from that point, it is a pretty comfortable position for Sun. Any mantras that you use, because we see mantras from the 5th house, we see positional success, we see future, and also a sense of corruption from the 5th house. So any mantras that you use will definitely help you with regards to work related matters or work related decisions. So it could be a good time to start or get yourself initiated in new mantras, because Sun is the significator or karaka for initiation. And any yogas in your chart, if they were to get active, they could get active by the blessings of Surya Devata. During this time, Sun is also conjoined 7th Lord Venus, your 11th Lord Mercury, and also Rahu. So there are definitely karmas pertaining to relationship and enmity around this time. So you could have some opposition. There could be people who could go opposite to you. There is certain conflict when it comes to relationship. In case you're married or you are in a relationship, please take care and follow the path of righteousness. Be loyal towards your partner and show a sense of compassion. Be there. A lot of time it is all about understanding. There are very simple things that you need to fix. So there is no complexity involved there. So stop overthinking and start acting by stepping into the situation. Plan for your future. Journal about your future, those things that you wish to achieve when it comes to workplace. If you were to start a new line of work, new job, this could be a potentially favorable time. In case you're looking forward to changing your job, please go ahead and apply, because circumstances might be favorable for you. The Sun is aspecting your 11th house by the 7th aspect of desire along with multiple other planets. So it is, of course, desires you to increase your income. This is a good message that Sun is bringing you, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendant and what's happening with Sagittarius as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. Sun is your ninth lord, the one who rules Bhagya. It is your Bhagyesha or Lord of Fortune. Therefore, it plays a very important role for Sagittarius ascendants. It is a Yoga Karaka Graha or the planet. Now this Sun rules fortune, your Bhagya, father figure, guru, long journeys, higher education, spiritual education, your dharma, your lineage is seen from the ninth house. This Sun is now going to be entering your fourth house in the sign of Pisces, and it is also going to be aspecting your 10th house. So your 4-10 axis is going to be pretty active over the next couple of months because Sun is conjoined your 11th lord Venus and your 10th lord Mercury along with Rahu. Now Sun gains direction strength in the 10th house. 4th house is the opposite to that house. Therefore, Sun has zero direction during this transit. This is the only downfall or the negative trait here. This calls for greater efforts when it comes to work, greater efforts when it comes to elevating your Bhagya or fortune, and a sense of decluttering is required at your home. This message is very clear. You need to declutter your house, you need to clean up the space. One simple remedy for you to channelize the energies of multiple planets in your 4th house is any open space in your house, balcony, terrace, wash it, clean it yourself at least once a week. This way you will be able to channelize these energies appropriately. See, if Sun is losing direction, you must worship Lord Shiva. Use the simple Panchakshari mantra, that is Namah Shivaya, and you will be protected and a sense of energies could be channelized. Sun is aspecting your 10th house by the 7th aspect of desire, which is a very fiery aspect. It blinds that house. So momentarily you might be in a confusing state in terms of what's happening with regards to your work front. So you would face very difficult times in terms of taking important decisions pertaining to your workplace. You will face difficulties to take these decisions momentarily. So let this time pass because Sun is not in a very strong disposition. But there are multiple planets in your 4th house which promotes mindfulness, which promotes spiritual practices. So practice yoga, sadhana, any spiritual activities that you undertake around this time, you will be blessed. There could be decisions pertaining to your assets, pertaining to your property, real estate that you might want to take over the next few weeks. This is the perfect time to declutter. That is something which you need to focus on, and donate old items from your house, give it to those who need, and you will be able to channelize the most of these energies, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Capricorn ascendant and what's happening with Capricorn ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. For you, Sun is the 8th lord and now making a transit in your 3rd house. It is very similar to a Viparita Yoga in transit. Sun rules the 8th house for you, which is the house of longevity, suddenness in life, sudden changes, sudden ups and downs, deep level transformation, frequent changes, places which are across the sea. Sun shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord, Saturn, but this Sun is making a transit in the 3rd house of efforts, valor, courage, your communication, change. So there's a lot of firepower, fiery energies that are coming in the 3rd house, and this Sun is aspecting your 9th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires you to put your focus back in dharma, in the path of righteousness. Any spiritual journey that you would take in the next few weeks could be beneficial for you. I would encourage you to go on a spiritual retreat. This is something which could be quite beneficial for you. This Sun in the 3rd house is conjoined your 5th lord Venus and the 9th lord Mercury along with Rahu. So one thing is quite certain, any efforts that you put around this time, they will pay you. They will pay you in the medium to long run. So please do not shy away from putting efforts because resources are favorable for you when it comes to putting efforts. There could be a change and you need to embrace this change. This change could be related to your future, could be related to your education, could be related to something that you would pursue from an education point of view. So make sure that you're open towards learning and you're willing to change. Embrace this change. Your 3-9 axis is pretty active. This marks the beginning of new journeys. Journey doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel. You could very well start a new line of work, because two of the trinal lords are involved in this transit along with Sun. So therefore, this change is quite supportive for your future pursuits. You would be doing as far as your future is concerned. So this is where you need to invest your time and energy. Most importantly, you must journal, because your third house is pretty active. So anything that you write, make notes, write about your leadership potential, how do you value gratitude in life, write about gratitude in life, and make sure that you channelize these energies appropriately. Exercise, workout. So anything that involves your hands, either you work in the kitchen, you work in the gym, you journal. So make the best use of this time to channelize these energies. Do not shy away from putting efforts, because efforts are eventually going to give you results. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius Ascendant. What's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Pisces, which is happening in your second house of accumulation, wealth, your family, because this is the Kutumbha Bhava, this is the Dhan Sthan. It also represents what you consume, what you eat, your storage space, who you would like to protect, those people in your life. Sun is your seventh lord of the Jaya Bhava, which represents peace and also war, those people who are opposite to you. Your spouse is seen from the seventh house. Contracts, agreements, businesses are seen from this house. All the people, things and events that are opposite to you, and of course how you orient yourself with these people. This Sun is now making a transit in your second house, of course, which I have already mentioned, and this is quite favorable for your partner. So if there are any financial matters pertaining to your partner, spouse, or someone who you are in relationship with, they could see a rise in case their Dasha Antardasha is supportive. This Sun is also conjoined your fifth lord Mercury and your ninth lord Venus. So this is quite a good time for financial consolidation, financial management, and financial validation. So you could have new ways of income by yourself. By this, you could support your family. Rahu is also involved in this transit, which is expanding the significance of these conjunctions. If you were to start a new line of business or a secondary source of income, this could be a particularly favorable time for you, because certain energies are favoring you. Look up to Mercury, look up to Venus. Any remedy that you do around this time should come from either of those planets. Use a simple Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishnave Nama, and you will be able to channelize the energies of this Sun's transit to support yourself and also your family. You are stepping into a wealth creating time where there could be new ways of earning income. This Sun, along with all the other planets, are aspecting your 8th house. So Sun demands you to be committed to transformation and be consistent in your life. Anything that you start, any new hobby, any new interest on a new line of work, Sun demands consistency. And this has been a very clear message since Sun has been making a transit in your ascendant. Now it goes in the second house. So of course, if you be consistent, you will attract wealth, you will make money. If you are inconsistent, then you will have problems, you will have conflict. Sun is the fire power in the house of your speech. You could be authoritative, you could be egoistic as far as communication is concerned. Not really just the communication, but the words that you use. Specific to communication, it is the words that matters here. Once you say some words, you cannot take back those words. Please remember and practice humility. Give respect and be soft and polite to other people, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Pisces ascendant and what's happening with Pisces as Sun enters the sign of Pisces. Please welcome Surya Devata in your Lagna, which happens once in 12 months. And I always say when Sun enters your ascendant, your Lagna, the whole month, you should worship Lord Shiva. Use a Panchakshari mantra, that is Namah Shivaya, or if you initiated in the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, then you can go ahead and use that as well. Or use any other Shiva prayers or mantras that you think are suitable for you. Sun is your sixth lord, the lord of daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your enemies, people who are opposite to you, your opposition is seen from the sixth house. We also see intelligence and growth from the sixth house. We also see deaths, diseases from the sixth house, your overall health and well-being. This Sun is now making a transit in the first house. Sun is the significator or karaka of the first house. Your first house represents yourself, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence, your ability to take key decisions. This Sun is forming a Dhimanta yoga in transit. So before I talk about any of the conjunctions involved, one thing is quite certain, that you're building your intelligence over the next 1 month. Please learn something new. Make the most of these energies. You will have the capacity to pick up very differentiated subjects and skills. So make sure that you continue to expand your knowledge. Read, and of course, read more. Enroll yourself in a course if you like, or learn from others or the wider industry that you work in. This Sun is conjoined your 4th Lord Mercury, your 8th Lord Venus, and also Rahu. So there is transformative powers in your ascendant. There's also a sense of comfort that this transit is bringing. Your personality is going to evolve, is going to change for good. But this transit might make you egoistic. That could be detrimental to your relationship. So make sure that you practice humility. You leverage the fiery energies of Sun, communicative powers of Mercury, and of course the interactive capabilities of Venus, putting together to evolve your personality in order to become a better human being. This is a key message for you. The more grounded you are, better would be your chances to succeed in life over the next few months, because you will need support from others. You would need a collective effort. So if you're taking decisions, make sure that you involve other people who you trust, those who you work with in these decisions. This way you will even build a greater sense of trust and confidence when it comes to other people. It is your opportunity to build your personal brand when it comes to workplace context, when it comes to what you were to do in life. So this is your opportunity, and I wish you the very best. May Lord Shiva bless you. So friends, this was about Sun's annual transit in the sign of Pisces and its impact on all 12 ascendant signs of the moon signs. I hope and believe Sun's transit, Meena Sankranti, brings a greater sense of devotion towards the Almighty, help us achieve our spiritual pursuits and goals, put our energies, firepower in helping others, in donating, and of course supporting other people, and becoming more self-aware about our true potential. Thank you very much. God bless you all.